Thursday here in Berea, the Browns getting ready to face the Vikings. And Mary Kay, we heard from Odell Beckham Jr. And I'm wondering here in week 2 of Baker and Odell. In week 1, it really looked like Baker fully understood, like, I'm not going to force it to Odell. I'm going to let things kind of come to us. So what do you think week 2 now of Baker and Odell coming back looks like?
Well, I actually think it will be a little bit better. Now, I did think that 52 snaps was a bit much for Odell Beckham Jr. in his first game back. I wonder if they're going to give him that many. That was, out of 81 snaps, it was just a little bit too much for him, 64% or something like that. So, we'll see if he's ready for more as the weeks go by or if they kind of dial that back a little bit. But I think those guys demonstrated in the first game that their chemistry is not going to be an issue this season.
Yeah, I mean, I do think such a big part of it is Baker kind of having control of this offense and knowing, you know what, I'm not going to always look for 13. I think the deep shots, right? That's kind of got to be the thing that we'll see evolve next with them.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing. Teams right now are going to roll that extra coverage to Odell Beckham Jr. They're going to put a safety over the top, and they are not going to let him kill their football team. Anthony Schwartz has similar speed, but he's not really ready yet for the Odell kind of work. So I still think Odell's going to draw a lot of double teams.
Now on the other side of the football, Greedy Williams will make his first start since 2019. What do you expect out of Greedy?
Well, you know what? I'm always pulling for Greedy Williams. He worked so hard to come back from this shoulder injury. We just got done watching him in practice. He's been working so hard. He's put his head down. He's kept his mouth shut, lost his starting job to Greg Newsome. I think he's going to do a nice job. I think that he really wants to go out there and prove himself this game.
Now, one last thing, Takk McKinley spoke today for the first time. Now, he did not want to get into why he wasn't here for about 3 weeks during training camp, but he had a lot of praise for the organization and Andrew Berry, ownership, Kevin Stefanski. The defensive line room gave him an ovation when he showed up back to training camp. So, really, it puts the organization in a great light with how they handled this Takk situation.
Yeah, you know what? I've sort of adopted the offensive line since training camp, and I spent a lot of time watching those guys, and I've really enjoyed watching Takk McKinley come along. And I think that he's going to have a really, really nice season. He's so fast off the ball, and he is getting into better and better football shape as we see these weeks go along here. And you're right, they embraced him. They brought him back into the fold. He feels very accepted here, and his confidence is building.
Okay. Browns and Vikings Sunday at 1 o'clock here Eastern time, so we will have full coverage of it at cleveland.com/Browns.